Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I am so excited to have today's webinar designed for our government customers and featuring ServiceNow and Adobe, who have developed their products to work in the GCC, and DoD environments. Now we're going to start with ServiceNow, and kicking off is Corey DuBois, who will be demonstrating the integration of ServiceNow and Microsoft Teams. Take it away, Corey.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that. Good day, everyone. Again, my name is Corey DuBois, and today I'm going to showcase a high-level overview of the ServiceNow and Microsoft joint solutions and how we can assist you in your digital transformation journey. Again, my name is Corey. I am a senior advisory solution consultant for ServiceNow with the focus to our Microsoft Alliance. So that's all our joint solutions that we have, for which today I'll be highlighting one of those solutions, and that's the integration with Microsoft Teams. Here's a brief overview of the agenda. We'll be talking about the partnership between ServiceNow and Microsoft. I'll also take a moment to show our integrations for teams in a regulated market and to provide you information of what we have available in our GCC environments, followed by a product demo and Q&A. So as we look at the world today and all the things that are affecting us, from COVID to virtual communications and collaboration skyrocketing, the world of work has changed. And so what Microsoft and ServiceNow has done was partner together to see how we can make it easier for customers such as yourself to enable you to increase functionality and be able to meet your users where they are. To provide a rethinking of how we can work and reimagine the collaboration and how it looks and feels. So if we partner together to leverage the collaboration platform of Microsoft Teams, and this gives us the ability to meet the users where they are, providing a joint solution that is out of the box to allow the users to have a consistent experience from one interface without having to jump in between different applications in order to get work done, to make them more effective, more efficient, and to be able to leverage the platform that they're so used to using, and that's Microsoft Teams. As I stated earlier in the demo, we also provide a offering in our government community cloud, which we refer to as GCC. We have three offerings. Today, we have more than 100 U.S. federal government agencies using ServiceNow, from moderate to large, to help them modernize and transform their enterprise-wide service delivery. ServiceNow supports FedRAMP customers with the ServiceNow Government Community Cloud, and it is authorized for FedRAMP High and DoD Impact Level 4 for data and workloads. In addition to our Government Community Cloud, we'll be soon releasing our National Security Cloud. It provides an isolated data center and additional security controls for agencies that require Impact Level 5 compliancy to protect national security system data. ServiceNow, we provide a platform that allows our users to assist you in your digital transformation journey by meeting both the business and the users where they are. For our theme today, we'll be going through a demo and showing you our self-service options. So these are options where you have reoccurring issues that can be handled and managed by a virtual agent that can be automated and help users resolve those issues quickly. We'll also demonstrate our natural language learning, how you can interact with the virtual agent to be able to do more advanced information and provide assistance for users. When we look at the virtual agent, it gives us the ability to quickly get information and resolve issues, easily make requests, and perform routine tasks, and seamlessly transfer complex issues into quick issues that can be resolved at a click of a button. The next thing that we'll show in the demonstration is how you can leverage Teams channels for collaboration needs to get notifications of tickets that are open, to collaborate between different team members, and to have team chats that are stored within the system for records. So if you need to do root cause analysis, you can go back and retrieve those conversations and have them linked directly in the ticket. And then lastly, we spoke about the ability to provide a seamless and consistent experience. We'll show you the Employee Center from within Teams, which is a curated content that's specifically designed for each user that can be structured to provide them with the information that they need to be able to leverage whenever they need with the information that they need to be able to get their work done quickly and effectively. And so with that stated, I will simply transition over to the demo at this particular time. The thing to note in the demo, I'll be using three individual personas. One is from the user perspective. The next one will be from a help desk perspective. And the third one will be from the managing of IT service provider. So here in the demo, we're in Microsoft Teams and we're leveraging it from the Internet Explorer. This can be done from the application, but what we wanted to do is be able to show you how users can access Teams and get their work done wherever they are, right? By the power of the collaboration platform that Microsoft Teams provides, we can leverage this on any device or any platform. So if it's coming from a browser or application or a phone or a computer, they'll get that same existing experience. And so from this particular interface, we have our user. The username is Jennifer. She is a employee that's supporting the senior exec. So she's an administrative assistant. So Jennifer has an issue and she needs help. So Jennifer is going to simply type in the word hi to establish a conversation with the virtual agent. The virtual agent will interact with Jennifer and provide helpful information. So as you see here, the virtual agent knows who Jennifer is, it knows what she does, and it will provide her with helpful information to select from a curated list of issues. So Jennifer can then go through here and identify the particular issue that she has. So right now, Jennifer has a printer issue. So she's going to select that and submit it. Once Jennifer selects the particular issue, it's going to ask Jennifer, okay, what type of issues are you running into? From there, she can select from a curated list of issues to select from. So if she has a printer issue that's out of paper or out of ink, she can select from there. So Jennifer has an issue with out of ink, and she needs to know how to put additional ink in that printer. Once she selects that, it will provide her with a list of options that are derived from a list of either QB articles or knowledge base articles that help step her through that process to help her get that issue resolved. If that issue does not help resolve that directly from this interface, she can escalate that communication. So here to ask her, does that help you with your particular issue? She can say no. The virtual agent will then respond with additional information to try to see if they can't resolve that for her. And then she can say either no, that's not it, or I need additional help. So once she says no to that, the virtual agent will ask her if she requires them to open up a ticket. So directly from here, Jennifer doesn't have to do any additional information or provide any additional info. She could just say yes, and then she can say um, the location of that printer. So it's in her office. The virtual agent will collect that information and provide that information in the ticket. And just like that, the information is created and a ticket is generated for Jennifer. And at this point, she can look at that ticket and see the status of the ticket so she can track that throughout its completion to resolution. Yeah. Now I'm going to go to a next particular issue. So now Jennifer's been traveling, and Jennifer has unfortunately lost her laptop. And so now, just like we showed before, where Jennifer can engage the virtual agent by typing in hi, she can also engage the virtual agent by what we term as natural language, just simple conversation, right? And so Jennifer is just going to type in here that she lost or has a stolen laptop. So through simple natural language, she can engage the virtual agent. Virtual agent will look at that and then provide her with a list of options to help her resolve that. And so here she's being prompted with a request for lost and stolen laptops. So she's going to say, yes, this is what I'm looking to do. I'm going to submit this. So once she submits this form, it takes her to this form that she can fill out to provide additional information about that lost and stolen laptop. You can then provide information of when it happened, the laptop, and then here, the laptop that was either lost or stolen. You'll see that when I click the drop down, it's pulling additional information. Now, this information, because we know who Jennifer is, we know the type of devices that she has assigned to her, it's pulling directly from the information that we have within ServiceNow. So she can just simply click the laptop that she owns that was lost or stolen. And so for Jennifer, she lost her MacBook Pro. We also can provide additional information, like was the laptop encrypted? And so if we provide this information, the team responsible for researching this issue will know that if it's encrypted, if they need to do anything to wipe this particular device. And then we can say, where was this laptop lost or stolen? And she's only going to say she lost it at the airport, unfortunately. So just like that, she's going to submit it. Once it's submitted, she'll have a request that's created and a ticket is open. Now that she's submitted this particular request, I'm going to switch over to the owner of the IT department. So I'm going to change my focus and switch over to the owner of the laptop department. And so this particular user is named Corey. He's responsible for all the different things that are revolved around IT. And you'll see within Microsoft Teams, he has a channel called Lost Laptops. Well, he gets alerts. So anytime an alert is generated, just like Jennifer created that in Virtual Agent, he gets notified of the ticket and the issue that was created. So directly from Microsoft Teams that he's in, he could view this within ServiceNow and look at that particular. So he's alerted. And so anyone that's a part of this particular Teams channel will be alerted to there's a lost and stolen laptop. So now I'm going to switch over to Beth. Beth is our help desk agent. And so Beth will be assisting Jennifer with this particular issue. So Beth from her workspace will go and see about any open issues that are out there. I'm going to simply do a refresh and I'm going to find that particular ticket that Jennifer just submitted. Okay, now that we have it, here's that ticket that was just created. We're going to simply click on it. So Beth is going to take a look at this particular ticket and see what information she needs. So here it has all the details that Jennifer put in from the virtual agent chat. It has the laptop, the encryption, everything that we captured in there. We see that it was a Apple MacBook Pro that she submitted that was registered. And so now what Beth wants to do, she wants to get additional information from Jennifer. So directly from the ServiceNow workspace that Beth is working in, she can automatically start a Teams chat. with Jennifer to get additional information. So she's going to start a Teams chat and she's going to bring over Jennifer. In that, she can bring over any additional people that she needs to make available to this particular call. And so I have it open already. So she can bring over anyone that she has to this particular issue. And so once she clicks on it, it brings her over and links her to that ticket. And so she can simply say, hi, Jennifer. I need additional information. I'm going to swap back over to Jennifer. And then you'll see she gets a chat for that ticket that was created. And then she can say and then respond right back to Beth. So they can start that conversation between them back and forth. So Beth is going to say, can you tell me if this laptop was lost or stolen? And where? All right. And then Jennifer can say, at JFK Airport. And it was lost. Okay. So now that Beth has that additional information, once she goes back to the ticket, that information is captured in this particular ticket. And so now we can have that history. So if anyone else comes back in and needs to look at this, they can capture the whole history of what took place with this particular issue. So now that Beth has an understanding that the laptop was lost, she needs to submit this to her loss and mitigation team. And so now what Beth is going to do is she's going to escalate this particular issue. So she's going to go over and start the escalation process to go ahead and mark this a severity. So the uh, escalation team can go out and reach out to the airport and see if they can particularly recover that information, right? So they'll be able to get that information. So I'm going to save that and I'm going to say item was lost and we're going to save. Okay. Now, again, just like we did before with that lost and a laptop in the collaboration, you'll also notice that if I were to switch over to the information for the IT manager, they'll also get a notification saying that the laptop was lost and they can see all that information that was happening. So the individual Corey, who's responsible for the IT department, can see all that transaction and get the information that's needed. So they're a part of that um, task as well. So I'm going to switch back to the incident. And so you'll also see if I go over to review, that once that was done, there's a playbook that was created. And so this playbook then allows the agent, Jennifer, to kind of walk through a structured environment to be able to get this laptop to its rightful group that needs to be responsible for that. And so it kind of walks you through. So you can think of it as creating a template for resolving issues, right? And so Jennifer can then walk through this guided path to say, okay, we engaged it in chat, and then we'll step through it. And she kind of walks through all these particular issues that we have. We gathered information for the information through chat, and we can mark that as completed. And then it steps us through the next process. And so once we've done that, right, we can see a list of incidents that was done, and we can mark that item complete. all the way until critical warnings that we want to do, right? And so if there are key articles that we need to assign to this particular issue to send to the user of steps that needs to be done, we can send that directly in a ticket and they can get that information directly into Teams. So it steps you through all of that particular information. And then it walks you all the way through to the point where then you can add additional agents. As you step through it, it'll know that, okay, because this item was lost and that we cannot, we need to send it to our loss and mitigation team, then it will prompt the particular users on call that we can route this information to, right? And so here are a list of those agents. As we were stepping through this playbook, it took all that information and through intelligence, it knew that we can send this to our loss and mitigation team. So here we have Beth, that's a part of the loss and mitigation team, and we have Dave, that's a part of the loss and mitigation team. And so directly from within the workspace, we can contact them and add them to a Teams group chat or a messaging call, or escalate this to a conference call. So you'll see here that we can start a Teams chat with Dave. And again, all the information that's relevant to this ticket will be held in that Teams chat that we can use. So Dave can then go through that information without having Beth to regurgitate everything that she went through in getting this done. All right, and so that's it for the particular demo. Please let me know if you have any additional questions.
Thank you, Corey. That was excellent. I'm so excited about the support that ServiceNow is offering our government customers. So thank you so much for demonstrating that.
You're welcome.
Any questions? Cindy says that's awesome. Teresa says great presentation. So they echo my sentiments, Corey. One question is, can you tell us more about the support in GCCI and DoD that's either current or planned? Any new features coming up that people can be looking for in any of the government clouds?
Yeah, certainly. And so in our GCC2, which is our moderate, we have all the features available in our commercial offerings. In our IL4 high environment, you have the ability to do the virtual agent and the employee experience portal are both are available at your disposal, and soon to be released from our national cloud and our DoD agencies will be releasing within Q1 of this year an offering to support both the virtual agent and the employee experience as well.
Thank you, Corey. Mike asks, the options that you've demoed available now in GCC High?
Yes, it is.
That's great. Hearing none, I'm going to thank you so much, Corey, for that excellent presentation. And I'm excited to also have Steve Saman from Adobe to present Adobe Acrobat Sign in government clouds.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining the call today and sticking around for the second half. Again, my name is Steve Saman, and I'm going to focus on streamlining workflows with Microsoft Teams and Acrobat Sign. And before I jump in, let me just do a quick introduction and set the agenda. Again, my name is Steve Saman, and I'm a senior solution consultant. We will be providing you with this deck so that you can review it at a later time. And my colleague, Mina Pham, is also on the call. She is the Enterprise Account Executive for all things digital media, which encompass Acrobat Sign and the Document Cloud. And so we're just going to walk through a few quick slides to help set the stage on what Adobe Acrobat Sign is, why we are better together with our preferred partner, Microsoft, and then we'll jump directly into the demonstration with Microsoft Teams and Adobe Acrobat Sign, so you could see the power and the synergy of leveraging Adobe Acrobat Sign via the Teams app as opposed to logging in into the browser separately. So with that, let's go ahead and jump in. So if most of you are not aware, Adobe Acrobat Sign for Government is Adobe's signature platform. It is hosted in the Azure Government Community Cloud High, and it is the simplest signing solution. It makes it very simple for anybody to send or sign a document. In many cases, the participants that need to fill out and sign these documents do not need any apps, any software whatsoever. Their entire experience is in their native browser. And it doesn't matter if they're within your organization or even potentially outside of your organization. So this is a solution that can apply to not just your internal employees and internal workflows, but hybrid workflows and external workflows that reach contractors, vendors, partners, and again, citizens. Just to reiterate, we are Microsoft's preferred solution. So we collaborate and build these integrations together to deliver a seamless, delightful experience. And this comes with all the security and compliance you would expect from a global best-of-breed provider like Adobe. So again, we are hosted in the Azure Government Community Cloud, and we also meet a variety of other key certifications, SOC 2 Type 2, ISO 27001. It's a very extensive list, so feel free to contact us for a more targeted discussion around your specific requirements. This, of course, increases engagement. So without you having to leave the Teams app to initiate a document signature workflow, to check on the status of that particular workflow and access the final certified PDF. So it makes it simple for you to collaborate, have transparency, and again, keep security at top of mind. In a nutshell, this allows you to move away from manual paper-based processes that currently require you to print, scan, fax, and even mail documents. And it removes barriers from your citizens or even other partners from having to come into your office or having to wait on mail by allowing participants to digitally sign, fill out documents on demand on the device of their choice when they have time. So we see substantial ROI in cutting down the processing time for these documents. So if it currently takes days, then it could come down to hours, or if it currently takes hours, this can be done in minutes. Again, I really wanted to focus on where this is applicable. Really, any type of document throughout your organization that needs a signature, or even if it needs a simple approval, is a great candidate for Adobe Acrobat Sign. So whether you are a federal agency and need a digital certificate-backed signature, leveraging your PIV or CAC cards, or if you are a state and local government agency and can accept legally binding electronic signatures, or if you just need an approval. We do also can capture a simple approval where you don't require the actual signature. But of course, we always generate what we call an audit report that keeps track of every single activity associated with every single workflow. So you would know precisely when every participant in these workflows viewed, signed, declined, or delegated a document, and we capture additional information like the date, timestamp, IP address, and other attributes. Along the same lines, we have a variety of different methods to prove somebody's identity. So again, whether you need a simple electronic signature or an advanced or a smart card digital certificate-based signature, we also integrate with other third-party providers like ID.me and login.gov, so you can have your participants validate their identity through a variety of different means. And again, I wanted to focus on our integrations. We have a variety of pre-built integrations. There's no additional cost for any of our integrations. So of course, today we're focusing with Teams, but we also have integrations with Word, Outlook, PowerPoint, and ServiceNow, by the way. So with these integrations, they're built on top of our APIs, which we also give you unlimited access to. So you can integrate with any third-party systems that are not part of our vast partner ecosystem. So again, with our Better Together story, What this really means, similar to what you saw with ServiceNow, is you're able to work wherever you are. And today, we know with a lot of hybrid work environments, working from home or working from remote locations, you're able to work directly from your team's apps, so that you never have to leave Microsoft Teams to collaborate and work on these signature workflows. The experience, again, is exceptional because we've co-engineered and collaborated very closely with our counterparts at Microsoft to ensure a delightful and seamless experience. So whether it's other Acrobat or other Adobe products, we have a variety of integrations that allow you to work from within the Microsoft ecosystem. And of course, this leverages your existing investment in Microsoft, so that you're not having to procure additional products. Of course, we can integrate with Azure Active Directory so that you can use your existing infrastructure to validate identities of your internal participants, like those employees that are part of your AD. But again, for any of those that are not, we have a variety of different options so that you can securely validate the identity of the participants in your signature workflows. So with our integration app in Microsoft Teams, this has been around, I want to say, for almost 4 years. So it's not our first version of the integration. Again, it provides you with a nice dashboard so you have an overview of all the documents you're associated with. You can add additional modules, for example, like adding Power Apps or SharePoint lists that are accessible through Microsoft Teams. And you could pin common apps and bots as well. So I'll show you how. I'll show you this in a live demonstration, leveraging the Teams app that also includes a chat or bot like feature. So with that, let's get ready to jump into the demonstration. I have two demonstrations prepared for you today. Each should take about 5 minutes. In the first demonstration, we're going to route a document for internal signature, which will require users to sign the document leveraging their PIV or CAC cards. So this is more focused for the federal folks, but again, we do support digital signatures and electronic signatures. And for the second demonstration, we're going to leverage what we call an electronic signature, which again can be applicable across state, local, and federal governments when you're looking to capture legally binding signatures from citizens or other constituents that are outside of your organization that may not have a digital certificate via their PIV card or CAC card. And so what I just wanted to emphasize is today, those federal agencies that are signing documents are required to download them. They then have to fill them out and sign them. And then they're required to save those to their desktop. And then they manually have to locate that PDF and email it to the next person that needs to sign. There's no transparency, there's no governance, there's no automation here. Each one of these red arrows represents a manual step. And so imagine a document that needs 5, 6, or even more signatures. You would multiply these steps by the number of signers, which is just too much room for error. And so I'll show you with Adobe Acrobat Sign where this can be streamlined into one step, removing all of these manual steps. And again, it also gives you a lot of additional value around data governance. Where do the documents go, where they're stored, as opposed to being stored on the individual user's device, and a lot of that workflow and transparency. And so for those who are not familiar with digital signatures and the difference with electronic signatures, I just wanted to spend another minute here in talking about the differences. A digital signature is a specific type of electronic signature, and most federal employees will understand that because they've been signing with their digital certificates using their PIV or CAC cards for a very, very long time. I want to say at least 10 to 15 years. And then the electronic signatures is very common for anybody outside of the federal agency. So anyone that's been signing, at the grocery store, when you refinance your mortgage or purchase a home, those have been a standard electronic signature, which also provides a lot of legal validity, but is very commonly used in the state, local government space. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the demonstration. So what you see here is my Microsoft Teams app. So of course you can add these apps by simply going to the App Store and you'll find Adobe Acrobat Sign there. Once you add this app, you'll get this dashboard where you could quickly and easily see all the documents you're associated with. So in this list here, I could see all my recent documents. I could see all my documents that are currently in progress. That means these are currently being routed for signature. I could also check on the documents that are waiting for me that require me to take action, whether I need to approve the document or I need to sign it. And then finally, it goes into the completed status. And I could double click on any of these to get more granular details on the document. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to create a simple workflow by clicking on the Request Signatures button. And again, this is embedded directly into Teams. If I access this outside of Teams and went into my standard browser, because Adobe Sign can also be used as a standalone user interface, there is no difference. It's the exact same, except we're bringing this experience directly into Microsoft Teams. So here you see on the right is the Teams example, and on the left is a standard browser. So you get all that great functionality embedded so you never have to leave Teams. And to route a document for signature, I could simply enter in the email address of the participants that need to sign these documents. Yes, we do generate an address book for you. So once I enter a letter, you'll see there's a bunch of recommendations that are made available to me. Again, if you didn't want a signature, you can capture a simple approval. So I'm going to actually add one more participant, and we'll make this person an approver so you can see how the approval works as opposed to the signature. So again, in this example, I'm going to be capturing a legally binding digital signature, and I could leverage files that live in my document library. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment, but I could also just drag and drop files directly from my desktop. So if I wanted to select one or more documents, they don't have to be PDFs. They could be virtually any file format. I could just drag and drop those directly into this file section. So I could have all these documents signed at once, or maybe some of them are there for only read-only purposes. You can see I have some Excel documents, some Word documents. For this demonstration, I'm just going to send out one Word document. And you can embed the signature blocks directly into the Word document. There's also some additional features like setting up an expiration date if you wanted to give the participants a certain number of days to sign the document. And of course, you can include a message template that will go out to all the participants, giving them a little context as to what they are signing, as well as adding a carbon copy. So it's just like sending an email. You have the to field, who's going to be signing, and you could control what order they're signing, whether it's sequential or parallel. You could even have a group of signers and only require one person from the group. And then you can add as many files as you need to get signed, and you could have those files come back as one certified PDF or as separate PDFs. I'm going to opt here to preview just because I want you to see how this Word document is handled when it goes out for signature. So here's the document that I'm sending out. It's an agreement to mediate. And again, in the Word document, I've embedded the signature blocks. So I can just import this into Adobe Acrobat Sign via the Teams add-in, and you'll see how this text is converted into digital signature blocks and date fields. So it's very simple. Again, I could just add those directly into the Word, the PDF, the Excel document, image, even HTML. And if I forget to add fields, I could add those here as well. So I could just drag and drop and add an electronic signature field or another digital signature field. Or if I wanted to require data to get captured, I could easily add those, whether it's a checkbox, a radio button, an image field. So we have a lot of ways to capture that data. I'll focus on some of those additional data capture options in demo number 2. But for this first demo, I just want to capture simple signatures. And I could also make this into a template. So at the bottom right-hand corner, I could just click on Save as a Template. That way, the next time I want to send out this agreement to mediate, I could have it saved as a library template that I could access within Teams. And that way, I don't have to drag and drop the Word document as I did in this demo. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send. We're going to first name this template. I'll call it 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to hit save and send. And now I've sent this document out for signature directly from Teams. And here's my confirmation screen letting me know it's been successfully routed for signature. You can optionally set up what we call a reminder. So it will automatically remind the participants that they need to sign a document. In this case, I set those up weekly, but you can control the cadence of those reminders. And then, of course, I could give myself alerts so I can be notified when the document is viewed, when it's signed, when it's delegated, declined, or when any activity takes place. So that's how easy it is for somebody to initiate and send a document out for signature directly from Teams, leveraging Adobe Acrobat Sign. So now what I'm going to do is switch roles and actually go through the experience of the signers that actually need to sign the document. So I'm going to go ahead and log into the email account of participant number 1, who is Aaron. And again, I'll refresh the page, and Aaron receives an email. It comes from Sam because that is the profile of the sender. You can brand the entire experience with your own logo, your own look and feel. So here I just used a fictitious U.S. Department of State logo, and you'll see the expiration date and the name of the document, which is Agreement to Mediate. And here's the custom message you can have for the participant. All they need to do is click on the review and sign button. It's going to open up the document for them to review. By the way, this also meets 508 accessibility requirements. So for your impaired users, this can support that. I have the date automatically populating. And if I had other fields to capture, I could also enter those in here. In this case, because I want to sign with my PIV card, it is going to require me to download and do that with Adobe Reader. Of course, Adobe Reader is free. So once I download the document, it can automatically open up. And this should look very familiar to a lot of folks. Here, I'm going to be signing, again, for the federal audience using my PIV card. This is where I would insert my PIV or CAT card so it can be recognized. And now I can go ahead and enter in my PIN. And now it has automatically uploaded the document. You see it lets me know it's been successfully digitally signed. And now it automatically goes to the next person for signature. The next participant in the workflow will also receive an email. It looks very similar to the first email. And again, they will also click on the link. They'll be able to see any of the data entered in by the previous participant. So in this case, it was just a signature. So when I download the PDF, again, it's going to open up. And now I could go ahead and, this was the previous one that was signed. So now I could go ahead and apply my digital signature to this version. Sorry, let me just go do that one more time. It's going to open up so I could see the signature from participant number 1. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. So there's the signature from the first participant, Aaron, and now I'm able to sign as the second participant. So you could specify fields so that your participants can only sign in areas or even fill out data in areas that you specifically assign to them. They can't go and fill out or sign other fields that are not meant for them to fill out and sign. So I've captured 2 digital signatures here. So remember, I still have an approval. So let's go back into Teams. And in Teams at any time, I could actually go to either the Manage page, where again, I could search for the documents and I could see all the documents that are currently being routed for signature. So if I go to In Progress, you could see there is the Agreement to Mediate, and I could just click on it so that I could view the current up to the second version of that agreement, which of course has those 2 signatures on it. And I could also view the audit report, which gives you details in terms of where the document is in the workflow process, very similar to this activity list that you'll see here. Again, it lets you know precisely where it is in the workflow. So currently this has been sent to approval to Dan. And then you can also have the option to use our chatbot. So with the chatbot, I can just say, hey, I want to check on the status. And then it's going to ask me, okay, which document do you want to check the status? And I could just type in Agreement to Mediate. And then it's going to give me that same document and just gives me another way to get access to that agreement so that I can also view it. So a few different ways that I can access that. So let's go ahead and wrap up demo number 1 by having the final approval. Remember, this is not a signature. Now we're just going to be using a simple approval. And for this approval, they don't need to download it, right? So they could just click on this review and approve button. They could do this on a mobile device, a tablet. Again, the signers don't need to register or set up a profile or use a license. So here I'm just going to click to approve, and that's it. I'm done. Now, if I go back into Teams, the document has now moved from the out for processing status. So it has now moved from the in progress to the completed. So now if I go to the completed folder, there it is, agreement to mediate. Yes, you're going to see several there because I've practiced this a few times. So here's the final agreement to mediate. And again, if I look at the activity history, it lets you know that it was approved. I can also have this document emailed to the participants so they could receive an email with the link to the final certified PDF. They can go ahead and download the final PDF, as well as the audit report, which we automatically generate. And again, you don't have to make this available to them. So here's the final agreement to mediate. It's always going to be a certified PDF. And here's that audit report that we automatically generate. You don't have to send it out to anybody, but I just wanted to show it to you. And again, you're going to see a detailed log of all the activity associated with this transaction, so that you know every time it was viewed, signed, declined, along with the date, timestamp, and IP address. So of course I could access this through the Teams app. I could also automatically send it to a third-party repository. So here I just wanted to show an example of how I can automatically go. In this case, I'm sending it to SharePoint, but you can also send it to ServiceNow or any other repository, whether it's on-premise or in the cloud. So that's demonstration number 1 of setting up a digital signature workflow directly from Teams. Now we're going to go into demonstration number 2, where we're going to set up what we call an Adobe Acrobat Sign web form. And this is not going to require a digital signature. Here I want to focus on an electronic signature. And what this does is it just makes it very easy for anybody to set up a simple document that could then be posted either on your website or potentially even embedded on a third-party application or website. So here what we're going to do is set up a simple workflow where after it's signed by the participant, then it's going to come back to me for approval. So I'm just going to add myself as the approver here. And then I'm just going to import another document from my desktop. So in this case, I'm going to use this simple non-disclosure agreement that I've created. So I'll just add that here. This does support a variety of different languages. And so here we're converting that Word document. Again, it could be virtually any format. And so here you see it, and here you see the fields that are automatically embedded on it. Again, you could see the digital signature and other fields. For this particular document, we're not going to use a digital signature. We're just going to use an electronic signature. And I'm just going to say, hey, this signature is for participant number 1. So again, you could specify who can fill out and access fields. So if I wanted to add, for example, a checkbox or a radio button or another text field, I can make it as big or as small as I'd like, or even an image field. And then you can click on any of the fields and assign them to a particular person in the workflow. So in this case, I could say this is for participant number 1, who's the web form signer, participant number 2, who is myself, the approver, or I could say anyone could fill out this field. Or if I wanted to make it required, I could just select this checkbox. Or if there's sensitive data, I can mask the information. So there's a lot of additional business logic you can build into these fields, including things like validation or creating simple conditions. So you can state if someone fills out this field, then they're required to enter in, they're required to enter in another field. So for the sakes of time, I'm just going to go ahead and publish this. And so it's going to generate 2 links. One is the embed code. So here on the top right is the HTML and JavaScript. So I can embed this via an iframe directly on my website or another application. And then on the left, here's the dedicated URL. And so the use case is pretty straightforward here. You could place this URL, and basically anybody who clicks on that link can just start to fill out the form on their own, right? So you could see on the top right, it navigates them through required fields. So here it's letting me know I have to enter in some information here, and then I could go on to the next field. Here I'm just showing you some of the validation. So not only is this a required field, but you can also enforce validation. So here, notice I have to enter in a 9-digit social security number. And then once I tab away from that field, I've made that a masked field. So while it won't be visible on the PDF, you can still get access to all of this information. We have a variety of automated ways to allow you to extract the data from this document. Similarly, for date format, here I'm making this, it has to be a date entered in a specific format. So I'll just do 23. And then here's an example of the conditional statement. Once I select this checkbox, now I have to upload a copy of my driver's license. So again, for sakes of this demo, I'm just going to upload a simple logo. And then here's my electronic signature, which again, it doesn't require Adobe Reader. That's only required for a digital signature. So here I could type in my signature, or I could scribble it on a touch-enabled device. I could use my finger or a stylus, and that's it. I'm done. And now the document can go to the next person for approval. Again, if you click on this link again, it's essentially a template, and it can be filled out again. So every time someone clicks on this link, it's a fresh version of the document. And then, of course, it finally comes back to me in Teams for approval. So if I go to my Manage page, I'll see that the document is waiting for my approval. And then once I approve it, I could have it go to another repository, just like I did in demo number 1, whether it's SharePoint, ServiceNow, or another location. So here's my simple approval. Again, I don't have to sign it, and that's it. So that concludes the demonstrations. Sorry, it was a little bit abbreviated, but I did just want to hone back in on the benefits. It allows you to leverage all of the great Adobe Acrobat Sign functionality directly within Microsoft apps like Teams. You could sign from virtually any device, and a lot of value around removing the manual and paper-based processes. Tons of ROI here. Again, we will provide you with this deck, so you will have the links to our landing pages with more information around the integration with Microsoft Teams and our contact information. We're very anxious to hear from you and work with you on your specific requirements and use cases. So with that, hopefully we have some time for any questions, but I'm going to go ahead and pause at this moment.
Thank you so much, Steve. We do have a couple questions, and I love Adobe products. I probably have used Adobe Acrobat longer than any other integration into Microsoft Teams. So I really appreciate everything you've done to support our government customers with your great products. So I have a number of questions. One is just generally, because in various environments, the App Store may not list these products, ServiceNow and Adobe Acrobat Sign. If you could just at a high level describe how our customers who are listening could take advantage of this great integration. You know, my understanding at a high level is to work with their Teams administrator who can add these products regardless of the environment, would work with an account exec from either ServiceNow or from Adobe Acrobat in order to get the appropriate licenses and to get access to these integrations. If you could refine or improve upon my high-level summary, I'd appreciate it.
No, that's great, Bill. And yeah, you're right on point. We will need to work with your Microsoft 365 admins or team admins to enable these apps so that they're available. You can either allow individuals to install them at the individual level, or we could push this at the tenant level, leveraging your Active Directory if you want to push these apps to a specific group or to everyone that's part of your tenant. That is absolutely doable.
That's great. What do you have coming up that folks in various environments could look forward to. So is everything that you showed today available in GCC High? That was a question that was asked of ServiceNow, so we just want to confirm that for Adobe Acrobat. And are there new features coming that you'd like to share?
Yes, so this is absolutely available today. Everything I showed you is production. It is not beta, so it's available for you today. And we have a lot of exciting new integrations coming across the entire Microsoft suite. For example, we have something that we're calling real-time signing, where you can actually set up a Teams meeting like we have here today, and I could pass a document for Bill Spencer or any other attendees to sign while we're all collaborating on the Teams call in real time. So this would could obviously be recorded. And then remember, we always generate that audit trail with all those details in it as well. We're also working on an integration specifically for the Teams approvals functionality, as well as to extend the Adobe Acrobat Sign features to other Microsoft apps, like the Power Platform, including Power Automate, and SharePoint are on our immediate roadmap.
Great.
I did see a note about SharePoint Online. In my demo, I just used SharePoint Online. We could absolutely plug these documents into an on-premise environment as well. We essentially give you that PDF, the final certified version, that document of record, and allow you to do whatever you'd like with it. Place it wherever you want. And then we also have a way for you to automatically remove it from the Adobe infrastructure. That way you're minimizing your exposure. If you're concerned from an enterprise risk management perspective, you don't have to leave those documents and the data in the Adobe infrastructure, which again is hosted in Azure GCC High, but you don't have to leave them there if you don't want to. So hopefully that helps with that.
Great, thank you. Seeing no other questions, I want to thank you so much, Steve and Mina from Adobe and Corey from ServiceNow, for joining us today, for collaborating with Microsoft to offer the great technology and innovation that each of your products offer in Microsoft Teams. And the great thing is they actually work together and they can both be used by our customers in GCC, GCC High, and soon DoD. So thank you all very much.